In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at the upcoming pattern. We just had an extremely major storm roll through, and as you can see, it is, as of now, a 979 over eastern Canada here. So it's sitting somewhere up here. It kind of made a U-turn here towards the west. Unfortunately, in my neck of the woods here, the city of Virginia Beach had a major tornado yesterday. So I don't know how large of national awareness this is getting. I know in Virginia this is a very, very big deal, but I don't know how much national coverage this is getting. But it was a very large and very damaging tornado. So obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those people here in my neck of the woods, just close to home. Honestly, in this part of Virginia, this doesn't happen very often. I think the last time we had a major tornado by any means was maybe 2008. And it's extremely rare regardless, so just a terrible, terrible situation that I wanted to bring awareness to. As we just roll through with this, we get towards Tuesday. We can see that this storm is still kind of just hanging around now by this point. We do see snowfall happening for the Great Lakes, portions of the Ohio Valley there as well, and the Northeast. I think this is a perfect time to tell you guys about my business, Trilogy Maps. Quickly, I want to tell you about my other business that I've launched, trilogymaps.com, where we have the highest definition, most customizable digital maps available on the internet, perfect for creating the best weather forecast. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here. As of today, if you use the discount code DIRECT in checkout, you will get 33% off your entire order. That's a third of the price. You cannot beat it, so be sure to check it out today in the description and pin comment down below. As we continue going through this, we can see for Wednesday the 3rd here, we could see that precipitation is kind of dropping back down, but this is associated with some Arctic air. Won't bring thunderstorm activity most likely or severe weather by any means, so this should just be some showery, kind of dreary weather in general is my expectation. By the time we're reaching into Thursday, we're still looking a lot quieter. You can see the major ridge here is over the west, and then it kind of descends here through the east. So we could see something like this is what we're seeing take place, and then we see this wraparound of warm air taking place out here for the west. So that is the pattern. We've been in this pattern for a while. It appears like we're going to stay in it for at least a little while. And as we continue going here, we can see for Friday, May 5th here, we could see that there's a lot of storminess rising through the west here, and this could bring our next severe weather event somewhere here for the central states. We can see a low sort of developing, and certainly by the time we're reaching about Sunday the 7th here, nothing major as far as low pressure, but we do have this storminess just across the board here from north to south. And this could bring some severe weather implications, obviously, with it, so we need to track this closely. Definitely, when you see this heavier precipitation kind of in the middle of the nation there, that is something to watch for. And certainly by the time this low develops over Illinois, we'd be watching this cold front area here, potentially for some thunderstorm activity and severe weather. Again, that would be approximately Monday to Tuesday, the 8th into the 9th. And then we can see this does reach the east. By the time we're taking a look at about the 9th into the 10th here with a potential cold front somewhere in there. Thunderstorm activity, severe weather cannot be ruled out. Now, this is a pretty back-to-back situation because as you can see, there's a low that looks pretty similar there just to the west of this one. So we see that one really rising up here from the 10th to the 11th here. We'd be watching this low right in here, and look at how much storminess this brings to the south central United States. This is certainly something that needs to be watched, in my opinion. So we're going to track this very, very closely, to say the least. Now, as we move on and take a look at that total precipitation, you could tell that a majority of this activity is taking place through the eastern United States. So you can see for basically the plains eastward, we can see that that is where a majority of this activity lies. We can see mostly yellows and reds. The yellow is going to be 1 to 2 inches of precipitation over the next 5 days. And then for the reds there, that's going to be 2 to 5 inches of precipitation. So certainly large amounts of precipitation happening out for most areas here in the eastern half of the nation. We can also see that for the Northwest, we do have some activity on the uprise here, so we're seeing some trending in a more active direction for these areas as well. I think that is certainly worth noting. The main storm tracks here is going to be somewhat of just a rocky situation coming through like this, it appears. Some maybe like this, and maybe even some rising up earlier. But that's going to be the main storm track here through the next 10 days, is these storms starting out in the Rockies and then crossing the eastern 2/3 from that point. So that is what we see a lot of. Also, we're going to see this low kind of wrap around like this. So a lot of activity in general for these areas is pretty evident. Maybe like this is the most active area in general, in my opinion. Now, the total snowfall here, we can see it has not gotten too much more quiet than we've seen over the past few days. Total snowfall here, anywhere in the grays, a dusting if anything. Blues 2 to 6 inches of snowfall, purple 6 to 10. Pinks 10 to 20 there, and then we can see our pastel blues even going to be 20 inches plus. So certainly a whole lot of precipitation expected, or better yet, snowfall for these areas in the Rockies. We can also see for the upper Midwest and Great Lakes here in general, as well as up into Canada. We're seeing still some snowfall there for Michigan, Wisconsin, and that's about it for the United States. But as we move into the Northeast and Ohio Valley, look at this, some overnight snowfall and a couple of nights here coming up. We do see in the grays a dusting, if anything, blues 2 to 6 inches, purple 6 to 10, pinks 10 to 20, and then pastels even 20 to 30 inches there for portions of your mountains in West Virginia, which are extremely tall, by the way, might I add. I think that's definitely worth noting. Now, as we take a look at the temperature pattern, look at this. So after that low moved through, I just want to get us more towards like now. During the day today, we could see there is some colder air working its way down the west coast, but in general, you can see that mostly a ridge lies in these areas, and then we have this massive trough now fully engaged over the eastern United States. So we can see that that is the overall trend here. That is what we've been stuck in, and that is what we're back into after yesterday's brief warm-up followed by an intense storm. Now, as we just move on a couple of days, we can see this cold really sticks around. But I do want to notice here about May 5th, we do see this cold is expanding slightly. That could be a negative PNA trying to establish itself and take hold here. Certainly something to pay attention to, something to watch, and really something that can lead towards some changes in our upcoming pattern. We can see that there is some warmer air setting up still for a lot of the west, just not these specifically west coast regions. And then we still see this trough over the east by May 5th. So later this week, it's still going to be cold. So this is going to be a long-term look for us here. As we just continue this on towards about the 7th, look at this. I think the interesting thing here is that we see this cold trending in with a negative PNA. So this is by the 7th, Sunday. We see this warm is starting to transition further eastward. This is the beginning signs of a pattern change, but there's still cold air here over the west. We'll have to see how long that lasts. We've been calling for the 10th to be a transitionary time frame. And look at that, right around the 9th, 10th time frame. What we have is a strong negative PNA taking hold of the west here. And this is allowing for warm air to surge for the central especially, but also the east. And this is certainly a lot more of what we've been calling for to be in the upcoming pattern. And the warmth looks to stick around until about at least the 14th, 15th, where this model says, hey, the PNA could go back positive here with a lot of warmth out west, and we could see the cold begin to really trickle its way back into the east. That's a little far out. I do think this model has been very solid as far as accuracy, but this is just the very end of the model run it's showing this. So we'll continue to track this daily, but only time will be able to tell what ends up really happening. Guys, be sure to check out the trilogy maps as we mentioned earlier in the video. Also subscribe today for daily uploads because we do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to also like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video.